Okay, so let's move here to the middle of our mat and we'll start seated for just a moment. So we'll begin tonight in Baddha Konasana. So you can push, empujamos los talones y las plantas del pie juntos. So you can just push the balls of the feet and then the heels into one another. A little bit forward and back. And as you're sitting here, just maybe rock a little bit also on your sitting bones and feel the spine elongating. Good. All right, so then let's just hold for a moment and just let your thighs, here comes Gala. Muslos están relajando aquí en la cadera. So you want to feel that your femur bones are just relaxing for a moment in your hip socket. So I'm going to take my hands to my ankles and then elongate my spine a little bit, maybe even let my head tilt back just a hair. Feeling un estiramiento por la garganta. Good, through your throat. Let's take your neck side to side just a couple times. Estirando los lados del cuello. Good. Very nice. So now from here, let's go ahead, pause, taking your two arms up for a moment, and then estirando lado y lado, moviendo las costillas, lado y lado. So you're moving your ribs side to side. And the arms are just kind of an extension of that estiramiento. Very nice. So now let's take your top arm and just stretch down and up. You can check in with your neck mientras haciéndolo. Good. And then just let that top arm lightly circle in your shoulder socket. Cada dirección, each way. Very nice. Estiramos arriba otra vez. So we'll stretch up once again. Y hacemos otro lado. Good. And it also feels nice remembering that we did just a little bit of bending and also straightening. Por el codo, through your elbow joint. Good. And circling cada dirección. Good. Let's inhale. Bring ourselves back up. Las manos detrás de la cabeza. So putting your hands behind your head. And then this time in your back bend, let your head kind of relax. Relajar un momentito en las manos. Good. And then this time, holding your head, let's reach your ribs towards each thigh. Good. This can be as small a movement as you need it to be. You want to focus on feeling your isquiones, your sitting bones, están firmes, empujando en el piso. Good. So now let's exhale, una pausa. Let your head come down for a moment. Y estiramos el cuello. You'll stretch your neck aquí atrás. Good. And then vamos a subir. Let's lift your arms up. Good. Just a big stretch. And then exhale, pull la escápula abajo. So arms up. And then down. Y otra vez. Muy bien. Good. So let's exhale. Expiramos y bajamos los brazos. Now take your hips over. So you're going to be on, this is me on my right side, mi lado derecho. And I'm going to lift and lower my top knee just a few times. So esta es mi rodilla izquierda. So just think about the knee coming up. Good. And then right back down. Excellent. And then we're going to see about just reaching that leg a little bit behind you. Y adelante. A little bit behind. Adelante. Atrás. Adelante. Atrás. Adelante. Good. Atrás. So now let's pause with that hip back behind you. And then this part of your cadera, the front of the hip, you can rock forward and back. So you're just getting a deeper little dynamic stretch por la cadera. Adelante y atrás. Good. So let's pause here and then you'll take opposite hand, la mano opuesta a la rodilla. Good. And I'm going to stretch towards este muslo. Just stretch towards this thigh. If it feels nice, walk your hands just a little bit further out and then reach your hips and thighs back. Good. And again, if you want to kind of rock that movement, es una opción. Muy bien. Good. So from here, let's empujamos por los brazos. We'll push through our arms, stretch out just a little twist the other way. Super bien. And now from here, I'm going to take my back foot next to my front foot y cambio el lado. So just changing sides here. So now once again, the top knee can open, abrir y cerrar. Good. And then we're going to exhale, kind of hold that lift for a moment, and then reach the whole leg a little forward and back. So you're feeling this transition between work in the glute, stretch in the glute, work in the hip, and then stretch. Good. Keeping the knee bent, la rodilla doblada. Let's set the leg down for a moment, and now your sitting bones. This part of the pelvis is getting a stretch as you rock and tilt the pelvis back, and then exhale and let it come forward. Good. So just letting all this connective tissue here provide a little relief with just some soft dynamic movement. Muy bien. Super bien. And then from here, let's pause. And then you're just going to follow that rotation all the way around towards your rodilla adelante, towards your front knee. And then from here again, we'll just rock the weight. You can let the hands move slightly more forward to deepen the stretch. Por la cadera. Good. And then desde aquí, I'm going to just sweep my arms, abriendo. Good. Now stretching towards my back leg un ratito. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to lift the back leg up and pull my front leg next to it. Good. Let's exhale and move your weight forward. So let la columna está moviendo adelante, moving your spine a little bit forward, letting your chest continue to open. Good. Chequeando. Bueno, en la cadera, how is your neck? And then mentón sobre cada hombro. So you're taking your chin over each shoulder. And then let's inhale and sit all the way up. And now exhale, we're going to just slowly begin to lower all the way down, down, down to the mat. Good. So here on the floor, let's just begin by once again lightly estirando your hips. You're going to let the knees travel lado y lado. Good. Using an exhale to send the knees one way. Excellent. Pause with the kneecaps facing up. And now your brazos a tu lado so that your arms float down to your sides. And then we're just going to lightly, almost like you're cupping water in your hands. So the arms float up. You're making a few small little circles. The palms facing up. Now turn the palms down and circle the arms out the other way. Trying to feel your neck release and relax as you take these movements. Good. So now you'll take your arms out into a T shape with the palms facing up. Good. Circle the arms the other way. And now pause here. Let one thumb roll back. Let the other thumb roll forward. So los dedos, los pulgares están moviendo abajo y arriba. And you're just creating a little movement there, kind of wringing out through your shoulder blades, letting the arms move a little bit in opposition. And now let's pause, let the arms float alongside the ears. Let's take a moment and lightly push your feet into the floor, allowing the pelvis to rise up. The arms float to your sides. The tailbone lifts. Take a few big breaths. Bueno, vamos a mover la escápula un poco más junta. So you're moving your scapula a little more together. And then let's exhale and slowly lower, articulating cada vértebra while you're lowering, mientras bajando. So let's try that again. Empujamos por los pies, you push through the feet y subimos la pelvis, lifting the pelvis up. Y desde aquí bajamos otra vez. Good. Let's try that one more time. Empujando por los piecitos through your feet, letting your pelvis lift. Give this lift just a few breaths. Good. Con la escápula junta, empujando los pies, pushing the feet down. Good. Feeling your ankles, los tobillos paralelos. Good. And then let's exhale and lower. Bring that down. Hug your knees over your chest. Take your fingertips to your ankles. And now we're going to reverse that. Let the arms, bajen al lado de las rodillas, or al lado de las orejas. So let the arms come out alongside your ears. Y subimos. Good. While your toes are lowering to the floor. Good. So just lightly feel a lengthening action in your lumbar. Good. And then I want to pause here. Let's open and close arms and legs. So abriendo, cerrando los brazos y también piernas. Good. Just a light little movement. And then we're going to pause. Let the arms come down to the floor. Let the knees stay open. And then from here, just lightly rock your pelvis, meciendo la pelvis lado y lado. Good. And then from here, let's pause and then let's create little circles with your thighs. If you're feeling muy avanzada, if you're feeling very advanced, let one thigh circle one way, let the other thigh circle the other way. Good. You can do one at a time. You can do both. You can do same direction or opposites. I've now changed the direction that my thighs are going here. Good. So let's exhale once again. Place the feet on the floor. Inhale, stretching the arms up, las manos detrás de la cabeza. So once again, try to lengthen out your tailbone by drawing your tailbone down towards your heels. Bueno, en la dirección de los talones. And then from here, let's exhale. Use a big exhale to lift your head and chest. Take your gaze to your belly, feeling your whole abdomen lengthen out. Good. And then we're going to exhale and lower right back down. Let's try that a couple more times. So just length through the abdomen, exhale, lifting through the head and chest. Muy bien, un ratito y vamos a bajar otra vez. Let's lower right back down. Good, let's try it one more time. Inhale, inspirando, expirar, subiendo la cabeza. Good, pulling abdominales adentro, your abdominals in. Very nice. And then from here, you're going to exhale, allow that to lower. So now place your two hands here, adelante, in the front, frente de la cadera. And then you're going to feel yourself stabilize the hip as you lift one knee and then let it come down. So I'm going to push my thigh into my hand and my hand into the thigh as I lift, mientras subiendo la pierna. Good. So let's try this a few more times. Just feeling that firmness in the leg. And now let's pause with your right leg up for a moment. Good. And then change the position of the two legs. So feel a little bit more conexión, a little bit more trabajo in your abdominales, a little bit more work here as the legs are changing position, cambiando la posición. Good. Big breaths each time. Excellent. And then from here, a little pause. Hug the knees over the chest and then let your coccyx, the base of your spine, la columna, suba y bajo. Good. Good. Try to keep your neck relaxed, chin slightly in so we can encourage a little more length in your neck and el cuello. Good. So now let's pause with your two legs up and then reach your right leg out and your left leg in. Let's change that position. So same thing, you want to really feel los abdominales están conectando. They're connecting the front of your ribs, las costillas está moviendo adentro, are moving in. Good. Take a few more breaths, firming up your belly. Good. And then you can make this more of a bicycling action, getting a little stretch into your hamstring. Good. Empujamos afuera por los talones. So you really want to push out through the heels. Good. Let's change the direction here that we're creating this little movimiento de la bicicleta. Good. And then once again, we're going to pause. Place the hands behind the thighs and now gently assist a little rock. So you can push the thighs into the hands into the thighs. Y estamos estirando la espalda inferior. So you're just stretching your low back mientras meciendo la pelvis. Good. Let's take a little pause here. Slide the soles of the feet together and exhale, pull the elbows into your sides. El pecho abierto, your chest open, your codos abajo. Good. So again, a little rocking. Y desde aquí, so from here, you can lift the thighs, lower down to the floor, soles of the feet on the floor, connected, taking a breath, a moment in Supta Baddha Konasana. From here, float the arms to the sides and subimos la pelvis. You're going to lift the pelvis. 5 respiraciones con la pelvis arriba. So 5 breaths with the pelvis lifted, la escápula junta, todo, todo. Muy bien, desde aquí bajamos otra vez. Good, so now squeeze your 2 knees together. And then con los abdominales adentro otra vez, lift your 2 legs y bajamos. So the kneecaps, you're going to create extension desde allá. Good. Let's try 3 more. And 2, feeling the belly, firing and firm. Good. Last time, última vez. Good. So now abrimos y cerramos. You're going to open and close the 2 legs. Good. Let's hold the legs out. Hands slide back behind the thighs. And then anywhere really on the legs that feels good. And you can allow the pelvis in this position to come up from the floor. Good. Lengthening out your low back. Getting a deeper stretch there por las piernas. Good. And then once again, exhale, folding the legs back in. Inhale a little breath. Empujamos los piecitos. You'll push the feet back down to the floor. Las palmas juntas. Bring your palms together. And now pull the rib cage out and up towards the sky. So las costillas están subiendo. Good. And then you're stretching your 10 toes, estirando los dedos del pie. Good. Empujando las palmas juntas, pushing your palms together. Couple more big breaths. Exhale, release, let that come down. Good. Let's take your right knee, left knee back in. Over your chest for a moment, 2 legs up, 2 brazos arriba, and then bajamos. You'll lower the arms, lower the legs, subimos, bajamos y subimos. Good, bajando, subiendo. Good, bajando. Good, subiendo last time, abajo. Good, and then lifting this time. Once again, hands can slide behind your legs. Then just let the tailbone rise up. Maybe you come more into a full Supta Paschimottanasana now. Giving this posture 5 breaths. Muy bien. Lowering your pelvis back down. Las manos detrás de los muslos. Let's rock to a seated position. Good. And we might try rocking all the way back down once again. Good. So we're going to rock and lift. Good. And slowly come back down. Good. Let's pause here on top, finding your sitting bones. Stretch your 2 arms out. Good. Hold con la scapula junta. So holding your scapula together, you can lift your 2 shins. Extend the 2 knees and just breathe. Good. Exhale, release. All right. So now we're going to come onto our side again, but we're going to come with your forearm down. Good. And then I want you to try just opening and closing la cadera adelante. So open and close, or bueno, la cadera encima. And you can feel your rib cage lengthening up from the floor. And you're just opening and closing here. And then una pausa, pause, push this foot down, and then exhale, lift your pelvis up. Just hold the pelvis lifted for a couple of breaths. Good. Let's lower the pelvis and then try lifting, extending out your bottom thigh, letting the leg come down and up. Just a few times. Good. Let's bend that knee, bring it right back down. Stretch and extend the top leg up. Maybe just take a hand to the leg, estirando por el muslo. Long, slow exhalations. Muy bien. From here, take the leg, stretch the hip back, detrás. Good. And then let's exhale, stretch the leg and arm out once again. And right back down. Empujamos por los brazos. You push through the arms. Hacemos otro lado. Let's try that on the other side. Good. So now, once again, you can let the forearm come down to the floor. We're going to lift, lower your top knee. Just once again, connecting to that deep external rotation inside the hip. Good. Let's pause with that leg up. Place the foot there on the floor. And then exhale, let the pelvis come up from the floor. This arm can lift if you like. Good. Exhale, gently set the pelvis down. Extend the bottom leg. Let the leg float up in the hip socket. And you can always put a hand back behind the head to offer a little support. Good. And then from here, we're going to go ahead, pause once again, bend that knee, bring it in, take the opposite hand to the thigh. Exhale, reach up the leg. Haciendo, algunas respiraciones here. Really stretch up through the heel. Good. Check in with the shoulder. Make sure the scapula is pulling away from the floor, not collapsing towards it. Good. And then from here, hand to the ankle. The kneecap stretches behind you. Estirando atrás. Good. Let the foot kind of go into the hand. Let the leg kind of pull the hand back. Stretch and reach the arm and leg right back out. And then we're going to lower back down, come onto all fours now. Good. In this all fours position, you can reach your hands slightly up. Take the tailbone up and a big stretch. Good. So from here, maybe pressing your head there into the floor, push your palms right under your shoulders and lift back up. And then let's try stretching and extending right arm, left leg. Slow, steady movements, allowing the limbs to rise up. Feeling that connection through your hamstring into the heel. Keeping the scapula together, your hip bones even. Good. And let's pause for a moment. Let your forearms now move down to the floor. And exhale, so let's push and lift the pelvis up, laying the top of the head. You can even come to rest on the floor. Good. Well, exhale, release. Let that come down, staying on your forearms. Now stretch and reach your left leg back. And you can reach your right arm out. Good. Exhale, return the limbs right back to your center. Empujamos por los brazos. You'll push through the arms. The head can come back down. The pelvis can lift up. Keep drawing the navel up towards the sky. Ombligo adentro. And then let's lower that back down. The left arm can reach it. Well, I always like to do the leg first. So get the leg lifting, and then if it feels comfortable, then extend the arm. Good. And we'll pull those limbs back in. Empujando los piecitos, so pushing your feet down towards the ground. Let's exhale, bring yourselves up. And let your head begin to tilt back. Good. Let the elbows squeeze together. And then we're going to exhale, reverse that. Slide the hands onto the sacrum and let the head come down. Good. We'll draw the palms towards one another. Exhale, pull, lifting all the way back up. Good. All right. And then once again, here, hands to your low back. And feel your whole chest rising up. And exhale, coming right back. This time, hands to the inner thighs. Y vamos a estirar entre la escápula. So you really stretch between your scapula, bringing your hands down in between your legs. Good. Bringing your two hands back to the floor, curling your 10 toes under. Lift the hips, lift the tailbone. And down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a moment to really push through the arm and lengthen your back. Take a moment here to push your right foot down, lift the left leg up. You can open the hip, let the leg stretch behind you just a hair. Good. And then exhale, releasing this leg slowly back down. Vamos a intentarlo otro lado. You'll try it on the other side. So subimos la pierna. Good. Stretch, reach it all the way up. And then from here, you can let the leg stretch behind you for a moment. Good. Push through your left big toe base joint. So you really feel the low quadricep on your left leg stays engaged to support your knee. And then we're going to exhale, slowly bring that leg down, your two knees down. Stretch your hips, thighs back. Adho Mukha Virasana. We're going to reach all the way out and down on the mat. So let's feel through the elbow and the shoulder. You have a pretty long line, and we're going to pull our chest up from the floor. Good, so el pecho arriba. And then from there, let's exhale, scoop and pull your hip bones up from the floor. We'll try this a few times. Push, open the chest, feel the front of the ribs pull in, and then let the hips and pelvis float up, and then right back down. Inhaling, taking a breath. Exhale, pushing, lifting up, and then right back down. Good. Inhale, take a breath. Open the chest, abriendo el pecho, and then exhale, lift, 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 feeling the front of your pelvis scooping up from the floor. Good. One more time. Inhale, and then exhale, just holding that scoop for a moment. Couple big breaths. Good. We'll exhale, release, come down. So now let your pecho, your chest is going to open. Now let the elbows move slightly wide, and then we're going to exhale, push and lift. So bajando y ahora subiendo. Lowering down and exhale, rising up. Bajando, subiendo. Last time, bajando, subiendo. Very nice. So now let's let your head come down to the floor. And exhale, you'll bend your right knee, straighten the leg back out, bend the left knee. Or just watch the movement of the leg. Nice, slow, steady, easy. You're just feeling how that knee bends. Good. And then let's take a break here. Let's take two legs down and up together. So when the shin bones come up, press your thighs down into the floor and really feel the glutes and hamstrings fire up to help you create that action. Good. Let's pause with both knees bent and then rocking your hips a little bit side to side, lado y lado, la cadera. Good. All right, and then from here, pushing your thighs down, you're just going to lightly pulse the heels towards your sit. So you should feel this in your glutes. Good. It's a deep engagement, but it's not a super hard muscular effort. Just feeling that light little pulsing there. 2 and 1. Good. So now pause with your knees bent. Let's exhale, push all the way up. Empujamos arriba, letting your chest, throat rise up. Good. And then we'll exhale, release, let that come down. Move your hands here to your sides and push your palms here flat into the floor for a moment with your fingertips reaching back. So try this right here with your palms pressing down. Pull the elbows in and firm. So it should just feel like a deep engagement in your back just to hold the arms there. Good. So now stretch, let the fingertips reach back towards your heels as your spine comes up. Continue to press your hands there into the floor. So you feel that in your triceps. Good. Let's exhale, lower the head And now lift the arms. Bring your fingertips together over your back. Inhale. Reach the arms away from you. And then exhale, lift the head and chest. Then exhale, lift the two thighs. Then exhale, bend the knees. See about the hands, feet coming towards each other. Good. Or just stay in any expression of this pose that works for you. Good. Well, exhale, release, stretch one arm. So this is my right arm, moving to the floor. And now I'm on top of this arm. And I'm going to let my top leg lift. And again, I'm going to push my hand here into my thigh as the leg comes up. I'm going to try to feel my rib cages lengthening up from the floor. Good. All right, so let's pause for a moment with the leg lifted. Keep your hand at your hip, and then just slightly let the leg move adelante y atrás. La pierna adelante, the leg forward and back. Good. And keeping the hand at the hip, sort of feeling that movement. Good. And then let's pause here for a moment and exhale, let the bottom leg lift up towards your top leg. Now it can just come down and up a few times. Desde el suelo, from the floor. Again, trying to feel your hips, your pelvis stabilize. Good. Now let's exhale, take your feet back down. And then we're going to lift las dos piernas arriba y abajo. The two legs come down and up. Good. And then let's pause. Let the top leg move forward. Let your top leg or your bottom leg move back, and we'll twist. Allowing that armpit area, particularly on that back arm, should feel very open, very stretched. Good. So empujamos aquí las manos. En el piso, you're going to push the top hand into the floor. Pause here with the top leg lifted, reaching up also through your bottom arm now. Placing that arm beneath you, sliding your two legs in, y cambiando lados. We're going to just switch sides here for a moment. Good. So I'm going to voy a relajarme aquí en el piso. And then I'm going to push la mano en el muslo. Just subiendo. Feeling the belly firm up, support the length of the spine. Good, so let's pause with that leg up and then let it travel forward. And then moviendo atrás, adelante y atrás, leg forward, leg back. Belly still strong, still connected. Good, so let this be a small movement. Beautiful, so now let's pause with that leg lifted. Let the bottom leg lift up towards it. Good. Use your exhales to really find a stable lengthening. Beautiful. So now let's let the two legs, las dos piernas, van a bajar y subir juntos. So you'll pull in at your belly as the limbs float up. Good. Let's try a few more. Beautiful. So pause, top leg forward, top leg back. And let's stretch abriendo el pecho. So you'll open the chest, keep dropping the top knee, la rodilla encima en el piso. Muy bien. Let's stretch. So you push your top arm here into the floor, debajo del hombro, so underneath your shoulder. And then as you push, really extend that top leg behind you, and then allow the bottom arm to rise up. Hold that, feeling yourself strengthen the outside of the arm, just a couple of breaths. And then we'll glide the two legs in for a moment and exhale, come back onto the knees. Walk your hands just slightly out. And now let the hips come forward and your head can lift so your gaze comes out. Good. So hips back, big stretch, and then hips forward, gaze out. Hips back, sternum, hips forward. Try that movement, really keeping your torso stable as you go. And then we're going to pause out here. Exhale, lift into a little plank pose. Reach your hips all the way back up. Good. Walk your hands slightly back towards your feet. And then we're going to take one hand to the thigh and exhale, push back. Opposite hand to thigh. Beautiful. Pausing, moving through your center once again. Opposite hand to thigh. Stretching back. And now from here, take your two hands out and you're going to walk your hands away to the right of your body. So this gives me a very deep stretch in my right soleus and in my gastrocnemius. So through the whole back of my right calf. Good, I'm going to cambiar la posición. So I'm going to walk my hands now over to the left. And then I'm going to exhale, walk my hands back towards my feet. Let's move our mantitas, move your blankets out of the way for now. And exhale, float forward. So let this be a big elongation from the top of the head up to the tailbone. And we'll exhale, bring ourselves up to a standing position. Let me briefly check the time. Oh, this is good timing. So now, pausing for a moment, just at the back of your mat, bring your hands, your palms together, the tailbone drop down, your chest open up. Very nice. Let's walk your right hand back behind you towards the middle of your spine, and then let that arm kind of walk up your back, there in the middle. Bring your left hand for a moment back behind you. So those fingertips are stretching towards one another, allowing your chest to open, shoulders drop. Exhale, release. Intentamos otro lado, so you'll try this on the other side. This is my mano izquierdo. I'm moving it to the middle of my spine and then up. So really pay attention to how that head of your shoulder here responds as you move the arm up the back. Más arriba en la espalda. And then from here, let the fingertips stretch towards each other. Try to feel the back lengthen out. Beautiful. You can exhale, release, let that go. Take your dos brazos afuera. And then I'm going to cross my right over left. You can go left over right. And then exhale, just let the elbows float down and up. So feeling the scapula estira en esta posición. Good. Let's open the arms. Abrimos. Y hacemos otro lado. You'll take that the other way. And then once again, arms floating down and up. Good. So now let's move to the center of our mats. Take your hands here to your hips for just a moment. Move the thighs back. Let the head continue to stretch up. And then the top of your head can float down. And then estiramos arriba otra vez, stretching up. And then floating right back down. Stretching up. Let's hold here for a moment in a flat back. Exhale, stretch the arms out. Good. Let's exhale. Take one elbow across to the opposite thigh. El muslo opuesto. Good. Estirando otra vez. Flat back. Opposite elbow to thigh, creating a twist. Estirando atrás por la cadera. Las rodillas equilibradas. Good. Inhaling right back up. Exhale. Bring yourself now. Slightly wider feet. The two arms reaching out, and you're going to exhale, float down toward one side, and then all the way back up, down towards one side. Because you're going same side here. It's creating a big stretch through your back. Cada lado. Very nice. Good. Inhaling, coming right back up. Softening your knees just a little. Let's take opposite hand towards thigh. Inhale, stretching, reaching up, creating a little back bend. Opposite hand towards your thigh. All the way. And all the way up. Let's try that one more time. Good. So let's turn now our body towards the right leg. And you can let the back calf begin to get a big stretch here. So you'll push that down. And then let's exhale. Let the arms come up. Trying to balance the rim of the pelvis. Feeling these two bones even. Good. We'll exhale. Now I'm going to take my opposite hand, left hand to the right thigh. Create a big stretch here. Parivrita Trikonasana. Good. Let's exhale. Sweep, bringing your weight all the way back up. Shifting back to that center position. We're going to turn this time towards your left leg or whichever leg you didn't do. Really focus for a moment on strengthening, lengthening your back knee, reaching the calf kind of away from you. And then you can let the tailbone kind of let the back arch here. And the lumbar, just let it arch. And make sure you don't overbend the front knee. You want to keep the knee should be over the heel or behind it. Good. Let's exhale and now come into Parivrita Trikonasana, the lengthening twist. Good. We'll exhale, stretch, reach the arms right back up. Good. Two hands, two ankles. Taking Padottanasana. Good. I'm now going to walk my hands just a little further away from me. Good. I'm going to inhale, stretch, reach my arms out. And now take my right foot to my left. Let my hips come down towards the floor. Good. So let's exhale. Bring your elbows, your forearms down to the mat for a moment. Extend the two legs. Good. Letting that maybe even shaking out here. Good. And let's just gently glide the rest of us back down to the floor. I want you to hold the legs, as though they were kind of tied together as one thing. And lightly hacemos círculos. You'll just make a few circles. Letting the back, the sacrum. Good. And then we'll take that the other way. Good. Let's take your feet and let them come down towards the floor. Take your right ankle now to your left thigh. And then let the hips just rock lado y lado. Good. And then from here, your bottom foot, let it walk across the mat and then let that top knee just kind of rest atop it. So this should feel like a big, deep stretch for this top part of your hip. Let's exhale, bringing the legs back up. Change the position here of the legs now, so we'll let them rock side to side. Let's pause and walk your bottom foot across your mat, and then let the top knee come to rest over it. Again, letting your hips just release. Beautiful. And then from here, let's just slide our legs open. If you'd like to create a little gentle back bend for your final relaxation, go ahead, roll up your blanket. And you can make a little prop for your head and for the middle of your back. And then let your arms open up. And let's just take a few big breaths here. Respiraciones profundas. So feeling your whole torso expand and release. Letting each inhale and exhale be its own thing, find its own way. And then slowly, when you feel ready, just lightly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend the knees, rock your back just a little. Good. You can find a comfortable way onto one side. And then we'll push through the arms, bring ourselves all the way up into seated position. Las palmas juntas. Bueno, tu práctica es un regalo. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Disfruta el resto de la noche. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Namaste.
Thank you,
Namaste.
Elizabeth. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Vic.